All right. So hello and welcome. We are not using, hold on, Marlon, we are not using video. So if you can actually hide video participants, let's see here. Stop video. Okay, yeah, we're not going to be using video, and we'll be using, I guess, sound when we have that opportunity. So anyway, so welcome everybody. Today is May 5th, 2021, and welcome to the Release and Recharge call. As you know, this is based on the Sedona method. My name is Judi Glova, and for the past 16 years, I've been an executive coach, and I'm also a facilitator of the Sedona method. And I'm going to be leading the call today. And please open your chat box so that if there's any questions that you have, we can communicate through chat. And when we get through the group release, if you have any questions or suggestions, we can always unmute you at that time. So I'm going to keep everybody muted during the group release. And we're also going to keep our cameras off, okay? Because I am recording this and we do want to share with others. So just a heads up, if you've never done the Sedona method before, it is to be really effortless. If you're efforting at the Sedona method, you're probably in your head and you're probably actually resisting the release. So just allow yourself to sink into your heart. I'm going to be asking you questions, yes or no questions, like could you allow yourself to think about, or could you allow yourself to welcome or notice? And those could you questions are just yes and no. So all you have to do is answer within yourself. And literally it is as effortless as a question of, when you're cleaning out your refrigerator, do you want to throw out the old milk that's bad, or do you want to keep it, right? So that's literally how effortless these questions are. And I also want you to know that this is truly designed to help you shift into your courageousness, acceptance, and peace. And for the last 6 weeks, we've actually been working on the chart of emotions. Now, you don't need to know much about the chart of emotions other than the fact that there is a chart of emotions, and they say that your energy vibration can go from low to high. And right now we're at the energy vibration of courageousness. So our group release today will be talking about courageousness, and any of our questions, we'll open it up for questions around courageousness. And when we think about courageousness, I want you to actually think of a time when you had that sense of being alive and certain and confident, creative, decisive, daring. Right? So think about that courageousness that exists within you, and notice maybe even where it lives within your body. Now, you may also be asking yourself, Judi, why would you want to release on courageousness? Because isn't that something that we want to have? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. However, whenever we hold on to any of our emotions, we're actually, it may sound counterintuitive, but it actually is resistance, because we don't want to let it go. It's kind of like when you get a new puppy and you want to hold on to it and you want to squeeze it really tight and you don't want to let go of it. Well, you actually need to free that puppy to let the puppy do what it wants to do, right? You can't squeeze a puppy all day long. It's not healthy for the puppy. But the same thing with courageousness. You want to be able to allow the courageousness to come and go, and allow it to be, as opposed to wanting to have it. Anytime we want to have something, we actually have an underlying thought that we're going to somehow lose it, or that we don't have enough of it. So that is probably more of an explanation than you need. But I also want to point to this great quote by Lester Levinson. He was actually the person who founded the Sedona method. And he talked about how growth is transcending yourself, your habitual self, which is none other than the ego. And our ego loves to identify with our courageousness. That's why we want to allow the courageousness, but also allow ourselves to let it go as well. So, with that said, just allow yourself to sink in to the present moment and just allow yourself to be. And allow yourself to just stop and allow yourself to be exactly who you are. And in this moment, can you allow yourself to notice any memories associated with courageousness, confidence, creativity? And could you allow yourself to notice any pictures, any sounds, any sensations that appear on that screen in your mind? And could you allow yourself to notice any conclusions that you've made about yourself or others when you think about that memory about courageousness? Maybe a thought that you weren't courageous enough, maybe that you were too courageous. It may be that you want to hold on to that courageousness because that feeling feels so good. Just allow that to be here now as best you can. And now, can you welcome any sense of wanting to push it away, to hold it close, to somehow figure it out or figure out how to keep it? Just as best you can you notice any wanting associated with courageousness? And take that same memory and notice any sense that it feels personal about you or who you are. Could you notice any sense that it feels like it's part of your identity, your story, or maybe even you assign that it's your purpose in life, or just that it's important for you to have it? Notice any sense of identity when it comes to that story or that sense of courageousness. And just for this moment, could you allow yourself to just let it go, just as best you can, just for this one moment? And could you let it go? Would you let that go? and when. Now let's take that from the top one more time. So allow yourself to remember that same memory or story or any story related to courageousness. Just allow yourself to notice any sensations, any sounds, any pictures on that screen in your mind. Just notice what comes up for you. And notice any conversations, any conclusions that you've made about yourself or others when it comes to that story about courageousness. And again, that story may be that you need to be more courageous, or you've been too courageous, too daring. Or it just may be that you want to make sure that you have it all the time, that you don't want it to go away. Just notice whatever that story is. And now allow yourself to notice any sense of wanting that story of courageousness to be more or less than it is. Any wanting approval from yourself or from others, or wanting control, wanting security, or wanting significance, or wanting oneness. Notice any sense of wanting regarding that story of courageousness. Any wanting more of it, or any wanting less of it, or any wanting not to lose it. Whatever is present for you now. Just welcome it, kind of like a best friend. Just allow it to sit there with you. And now, can you allow yourself to notice any sense that it's personal about you or who you are? Any sense of your identity? Any sense of me, mine, them, or theirs? And just allow that to feel okay. To welcome that sense of identity with courageousness. And could you allow yourself to let go of it as best you can. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be present in your life, but just let go of the wanting it. Could you just allow it to let go? And instead of feeling like you need more of it or less of it, can you just allow it to let go and be in your beingness? And notice if you feel that sense of expansion, that sense of openness. And now let's dig a little bit deeper and notice that courageousness. Where does it, or what is at the essence or the core of that story or your courageousness? Where does it arise from? And could you allow yourself to notice what is that contained in? And what does that courageousness subside to? And now allow yourself to go a little bit deeper and allow yourself to notice that courageousness. And are you that story? Are you that story of courageousness? Or are you that which is aware of the courageousness within you? And if you really look, you'll notice what that courageousness appears in or on is actually your awareness, your conscious awareness. And allow yourself to notice that conscious awareness that is holding that courageousness in or on that screen in your mind's eye. Now, there's actually no screen, but just allow yourself to notice that conscious awareness. And where that courageousness resides. And notice that that conscious awareness, that you are the witness of that. That you're able to witness that conscious awareness. And if conscious awareness is that, what is even beyond your conscious awareness? And if it's even deeper or wider, what is your conscious awareness? And if it's even deeper and wider, what is your awareness? And can you allow yourself to rest as that? Can you allow that to be enough? Okay, great. So now I'm going to invite you, as you feel comfortable, allow your eyes to open and come back to the room and open up your chat box. You can find it usually at the bottom of your screen. As you roll your mouse along the bottom, you'll see a little box that says chat. Open that. And if you have any observations, any questions, anything that you'd like to share, or if you'd like assistance with either this topic of courageousness or anything else, just place that in the chat box. And while you do that, I just want to review and go back again to what I was saying before about courageousness. And as we go through the chart of emotions and we release on each one of these energetic levels, you know, when we get to that level of courageousness, so many people are like, well, why would I possibly want to let go of courageousness? And it's the ability to allow yourself to have it and allow yourself to let go of it. Because any time that we feel as though we have to have something, we're actually in a state of resistance. We're either resisting letting it go, or we're resisting that we actually have it within us. And I also want you to notice that when we were in the release, that courageousness came from within you. It didn't come from anything outside of you. So you can actually give yourself permission to stop wanting to delay it and to have it whenever you want. And you can allow yourself to stop putting conditions on the courageousness that you are. It's not even that you actually have to want it. It's already in you. It already is you. And I'm just noticing in the chat box, hi, Nicole. Oh my gosh, from Melbourne, Australia. How are you, Nicole? So great to see you. And just wondering, Nicole, is any questions? Any comments? Anything you'd like to share? I can unmute you. Or if you just want to say hello, Nicole, I'd love to hear your voice. Let me just ask you to unmute. Okay, let me just find you on my list. Ah, there you are. Is that you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Nicole, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. Well, I'm always fascinated by what you're doing in the world, some courageous stuff. So how was that for you?
It was great. I actually I missed the start of it. It's very early here, and I just happened to wake up to go to the loo and went, oh, there's an email from Judi. Let's see what it is. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's start the day early.
Like 5 a.m. where you are, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, what a
But
wonderful,
yeah, it's a great reason to wake up early.
yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, so great to hear your voice. And yeah, can't wait to hear all the courageous things that you're doing in your life right now.
It's been a huge year, so I think I was meant to wake up and tap into this today.
Oh, fantastic. Did you have
Mm.
any questions or any other comments? Because I know it is super early, so I don't want to put you on the spot.
It was really great. I wish I had been able to tap into the first 5 minutes of it to really dig deep right from the start. But yeah, will there be like a replay or something like that so I can actually
Yeah,
revisit it?
yeah, so I am actually recording and I've
Perfect.
just been a little bit delayed in terms of editing and posting. So
Mm.
it's all a work in progress, but I'm probably going to post the full series all at once so that everybody can have an experience of all of the chart of emotions. So
Oh,
yes,
perfect.
it will be available and I will let everybody know on email when it is. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Great to talk to you. Thanks, Nicole.
No worries.
All righty. So I also see Fabienne. Ah, so great to see you, Bonita. Oh, you never thought about courageousness this way. Can I unmute you, Fabienne, and maybe ask you a little bit about your perspective? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hello, Judy.
Bonjour, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. This was beautiful. Thank you for the process. I really loved your example at the beginning of looking at those, including courage as that old carton of milk. Like, would you keep it? But it was kind of an interesting twist that you put into even things that we think are positive. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and it's the courageousness that you already are. It's almost like you don't have to want it because it's already within you always. Um, but yeah, so fantastic to hear your voice too. Wow, we have
Thank you.
some great people here today. Awesome. Thanks, Fabienne. So Fabienne, did you have any other questions or any comments about or any assistance that you wanted with anything you wanted to let go of?
Well, it's just like an interesting, again, way to think about it. So would you say that we can do this with anything, of like that sense of the puppy, the other metaphor that you used that I loved about just like, oh yeah, let's just not, it's a way of not attaching, right?
Yes, exactly. Right. It's all about attachment and aversion. So yeah, my example of the puppy, it's like, you can be really attached to the puppy and you want to squeeze it. And, that's the attachment of it. And not wanting to let go is also, it's like it's like the different side of the same coin, right? So attachment and aversion like come together. But when we can actually release the attachment and aversion, that's when we get into courageousness, acceptance, and peace and freedom.
Mm.
So what I think you're talking about, it's like, how can we let go of the attachment and the aversion so that we can feel that freedom? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and also that you are, opening through this angle of the courage today, but it makes me think and feel about, so much more, that it gives me ideas like, yeah, this same process, and I'm sure that's what you do, but I'm kind of happen to be on the call today, but I haven't been following much of this process. So it's I'm imagining that you can use this both for emotions or mental, but as well as physical thing. Is that right?
Um, I think we definitely release on stories, like things that we hold from the past. So anything in our minds. So it's like a mind body thing. So yes, and in sense of the body, what are you talking about, physical pain, or give me an
Like,
example? Give me a
yeah,
specific example.
I'm thinking about your questions again, sorry, I don't have them like perfect, but could you, would you, and when, that's the way I remember it. And even with maybe even, and then maybe that's a blend with the courage and material, but like, could you use those questions even to go through things that, you know, like for instance, you asked for an example, I still have a lot of things in a storage unit that I would like to take care of. Like, would you even like, it's like, oh, could I get rid of this? Would I? When? You know, like these kind of things.
Absolutely. And I mean, I would even say, considering I've had I've had one of those storage units before too, or it's like really just a really hard, gnarly closet where I didn't want to address it. And sometimes it's just letting go of the resistance to let things go, if that makes sense. We're really mixing a lot of concepts here, but
Yeah.
it's letting go of any resistance to allowing things to leave. It's letting go of the physical, but yeah, like if you're holding something in your hand and you can actually ask yourself those 3 exact questions, you got them perfectly. Could I let it go? Would I let it go? And when? And is now the time that I want to let it go? And just like the milk, you know, the carton of, you know, overdue milk, you know, you can ask yourself, is this time for, you know, could I let this go? Would I? And when? And just toss it. And just allow yourself to not get stuck in that attachment or aversion, because some people, it's so easy for us to release on the things that we're attached to, but sometimes it's the aversion to letting things go that is even a more powerful release when you're cleaning out a storage unit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Thank you. Good to hear you. Thank you for the process.
Yes, much love. Good to hear you.
Much love.
Ciao, ciao. Okay. Oh, Nicole had mentioned too in the comments, letting go of negativity 2 weeks ago has enabled me and my business and personal happiness to blossom. Yes, so in flow. Exactly. Yeah. So anytime we're using the Sedona method, we're able to, you know, we're able to make space and be in flow. So if part of your desire is to experience more flow in your life, my experience has been that the Sedona method really helps, but I also want to underline, don't believe anything I say. I truly believe that the Sedona method is something that you experience, and always trust your direct knowing and your honest experience of what works for you. So with that said, I want to open it again to any questions or requests for assistance. Is there anything that's preventing you from the success or the happiness that you want in your life? Anything that's getting in the way? Letting go of perfectionism. Hi, Stathis. Stathis, I'm going to see if I can mute you and see if that's okay. Hi, Stathis.
Hello, Judi.
Hi, Stathis. Great to hear your voice too. Wow, we have an international crew today. I love it. So awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me tell me more about the perfectionism.
I was searching to find a way to be to have higher speed in things that I do in everyday life, because I was sensing that I'm going slow, and I was thinking, what could I do to make things go faster?
Okay.
And I thought perhaps letting go of perfectionism,
Okay.
because uh, when I want to do it perfectly, it takes too much time, and
Mm,
sometimes it's wasted time.
mm. So would it be accurate to say that there's like a judgment around doing things at its perfect pace?
Yes, there is a judgment there. Uh,
What do you think the judgment is, Stathis?
uh, the judgment is, let me see, that I'm not going fast enough. I'm not going fast enough.
Mhm. Yeah, can you notice any sense of wanting approval for the pace that you're going?
I think it's mostly wanting control.
Wanting control. Okay. So can you welcome that wanting control as much as you do?
Mm. Yes,
And then can you allow yourself to welcome all the freedom and patience as best you can?
yes,
And can you allow yourself to welcome that sense of wanting to go fast and control?
yes,
And then can you allow yourself to welcome that sense of peace, peace of mind and patience and flow as much as you can?
yes,
And can you welcome all that sense of perfectionism, going fast, of being in control as much as you do?
yes,
And then can you welcome that sense of peace and everything happening in divine time?
yes. It feels very nice.
That's very nice. Great. And if there's any control or perfectionism or wanting to go fast, if there's any of that left over, can you allow that to let go as best you can?
Yes,
And any of that that you're holding on for later, can you allow yourself to just put that in a big, huge soap bubble and just allow yourself to watch that floating off on its own, on the
yes,
breeze, and watch it getting smaller and smaller.
yes,
And can you welcome your conscious awareness that lives within you, that light that radiates, that's filled with the flow? Can you allow that to be here as best you can?
yes,
And can you allow that light to fill every atom, every cell, every tissue in your body from head to toe? And take your time, just do it as best you can.
hmm yes. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, and can you allow that light to just radiate beyond you, surround you, and protect you?
Yes,
And can you allow yourself to trust that that radiant conscious awareness, the flow, to know exactly what needs to happen when, and can you allow that to be enough?
yes. Actually, that is perfection.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I was just going to ask you, what's present for you now, Stathis?
Wow.
Yeah, you already are perfect. Or I'm going to leave you with a little bit of homework. I love this question, and I actually have it on my bathroom mirror. And the question is, how is what you're experiencing now already perfect? So that's just a little bit of homework for you. How do you like it?
It's very nice.
Yeah. And anybody else that's on the call that liked it, it's your homework too. And if you didn't like it, it's also your homework too. Great. Anything else, Dasis? Anything else coming up for you?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's
Oh, good.
absolutely complete. So
Great.
thank
You're welcome. Sending you many hugs, lots of blessings. Have a great day.
you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so we went over time, and I'm always happy to do that. And if there's anything else, any other burning questions, please let me know in the chat now. Otherwise, we're going to end for today, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. And I think I'm actually going to shift to this time at 12 noon instead of 11. So would love your feedback if you like this time better than 11 a.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. East Coast time. And I guess it's 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. Melbourne time, but would love everybody's feedback on that. Okay, so I don't see any burning questions or requests for assistance. So I am just gonna, again, send you all so many blessings for an amazing 2 weeks, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All righty, see you soon. Bye-bye now.